y'all. Hey, you are tuned in to Circle Up with Amanda Hurd. Let's talk about God's faithfulness. Today, as I was driving down the street, I wanted to be a little bit intentional about my thinking, my thought process. I cannot talk sometimes, I swear. Well, most times, I swear. But anyhow, I wanted to just be intentional about my thought process, and I wanted to give God glory again for who he is and simply just for being good. And I thought about his faithfulness, and I sat there for a moment. And as I sat there, I just began to think that, wow, Lord, you have always been faithful. And even though this is something that most of us know, when you sit down and think about it for quite some time, you're able to find, or more so see, his glory, how it's just reigned from the beginning of time till now. And it continues to just grow deeper and deeper each and every day. And so something that stood out to me about his faithfulness today was the fact that people followed him because of his faithfulness. They followed him because when he spoke a thing, he meant a thing. None of his words ever hit the ground dry. He never made any broken promises. And so if he said something, they knew, due to him being faithful and truthful, that he would do exactly what he said. And so it made me think about us as leaders these days. Like, how are we moving about in our faithfulness? Are we saying broken things? Are we making broken promises? It makes me think, like, who would continue to follow, the brokenness of a promise? And so let's find ourselves being more like Christ in that area, that we begin to place where we stop babbling out of our mouth over and over and over, saying things that are unnecessarily said, that don't have to be said. We get in this creative habit of saying things that we are not going to do, because it doesn't matter if our word hits the ground and does not produce anything. And that's not who we should be as people. That's not who we should be, especially as believers. Every time God said something, his word always performed. And us, we say things, simple things like, I'm going to start drinking water today, and then don't do it. I'm going to start working out today, and then don't do it. I'm going to meet up with so-and-so today, and then don't do it. So let us be wise in our speaking. Let us be wise in our thinking, in our teaching, and only move about when we know that we're going to fulfill what we say. Let us grow to be faithful. If you noticed, there were several times that the Lord found himself in a silence. The Lord found himself in places where he was not speaking. He was not moving. He was being still, as we call it. And as we say, we beg and we cry out, Lord, speak to me. Lord, move. Lord, say. Lord, why are you silent? All to really find out that the reason he is silent, the reason he isn't moving, is because he is intentional, because he is good, because he is faithful. And if he says a thing, you have to understand that he's going to perform the thing. And so sometimes the process will require us to be still, to be silent, to not allow us to speak before the whole identity or whole totality of what we are trying to get forth is finished in its complete process. So let us take on that habit. So I say all that to say faithfulness is a precious tool to have. It's a precious tool that you want to keep close to you at all times. You want your words to really mean things. You want, when you speak, people to be able to hold on to them and find truth at the end of them. You want people to be able to go by your word, know you by your word, test you by your word. And so if this is a practice that we begin to move in, then we are just moving that much closer to the greatness of who we were called to be. Hope this message was encouraging. Hope this message was able to push you, move you, grow you, and stretch you. Until next time, be blessed. Bye.